Hello, trading is closed on January 10th, 2017. We had some MEJT targets. We had 2266.81. The preferred time frame ended early today, and it did print within its preferred time frame, and there was support under it. We had a target at 2273.68. I'm leery of higher targets in the environment I think we're in, but it printed within its preferred time frame, and it was a resistance area. Apparently I have some new viewers on the videos. They're not familiar with the system. I would just like to say, whether it's my system or anyone else's, do not risk money on a system unless you understand it. And it's particularly critical to understand that unlike other systems, MEJT gives support resistance levels and not entries and exits. For instance, early on today, MEJT give a sell and an ultimate sell, but these lines show what the targets were, and you can see that they're awfully close. Now the system just says that this target's going to be hit most likely within 2 days, and that the ultimate target's going to print at some time. It says nothing about whether or not higher prices will print first, and it says nothing about whether or not the support under the price targets will hold. It just gives a target. Later on in the afternoon, MEJT gave a sell signal. Now I should say, early on, MEJT said that this rally was a false move and would retrace. Whereas here, when it gave a sell signal, even though it said the move didn't have to be strong, W stands for weak, it just means at least a weak move is signaled. But here, when the sell signal is given, even though the system doesn't preclude higher prices printing first, at least you have a pre-existing target which is far away. So unlike here, where the risk-reward ratio is not so hot, here you've got a reward that's great, so that if you set your risk level using other systems, at least you have the possibility of a big payoff if you're correct. Well, it's not so unusual when you have higher and lower targets, each prints and we close little change. Here we closed exactly unchanged, but that doesn't mean that a lot of interesting things didn't happen. I've been calling based on factors not related to MEJT for a high around 2274.5. So far I'm off by under 7.5 points, and I'll take it. By around 7.5 points. That's close enough for me. This is what I'm calling a potential high of the whole leg up. We then dropped in a 5-wave decline, rallied, hit the lows of the prior consolidation, couldn't overtake the highs, and then started an impulsive move down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 3 waves up and another impulsive move down starting. Note that the drops are in 5s and the rallies are in 3s. We have a MEJT target of 2267.40, most likely to print by early Thursday, and ultimately we should see a fraction price lower than that. It's important to note that by closing unchanged, we still are unable to close over any of these prior highs. We had a good rally, it fizzles out, drops in 5s, starts dropping impulsively again, and none of that is positive. the DeMark signals, which aren't part of MEJT, say we're extremely overbought at these levels. Now, just because you are, it doesn't mean you have to drop. You can just get rid of that condition by consolidating. It's possible. But if it drops, it should be a big drop, so the potential reward here is great. If we get the drop, we should undercut 2175.03 within 3 weeks. We have 2 days of those 15 used up, and we have a holiday next week. That gives us 12 days. So if we're going to get the big payoff here, I'd like to see us start pretty soon. And I think based on what happened today, there's a good chance that the big drop can start tomorrow. But here's the MEJT target, and that's my call for tomorrow. Down we go.